to the big dance. Now the main man is starting.
For the Navy Midshipmen, this is their 11th appearance in the Patriot League postseason, winning the championship in 5 of their first 6 years in the league. As the Midshipmen winning in 2004, Graham Gill with a great game to send them to a 9-8 victory over Hobart, and eventually that season would end in the national championship game for the Mids against the Syracuse Orange. Mids will wear the Under Armour home whites with the blue shoulders, the gold shorts, the blue numbers and blue navy across the chest with the blue helmet, and the Vegas gold trim and stripes over the top. Holy Cross in the road purple, jerseys, shorts, silver helmets with the purple stripe down the middle. Biggest matchup of the night right here statistically on paper. It's a mismatch. Brady Dove and Mike Martins. Martins at just 40%. Holy Cross is a team at just 38%. Dove, 4th in the country overall, 66% coming in. This is a matchup the Mids have got to dominate, and dominate now. Matt Palem, Scott Rayburn, Adam Pietrocarlo, our officials here this evening. Matt Palem, the former Syracuse Orange, steps between them, blows the whistle, and we're underway. Brady Dove sends it backwards toward the restraining line. Ball is loose. Dove ended up on the ground for the moment. Steve Hinks was there, runs into his own man. Neither can get it. He and Fennell both jockeying for it. Dove still trying to scoop it up over toward the sideline. He sweeps it back in a curling-like motion to Michael Strack. Strack with a long pole. Finds John Trainer in the middle of the field. Ahead to Matt Reese. And the Mids, after all that chaos, secure the opening faceoff of the game and go to work offensively here as Jack Ray brings it near side to Dave Little. Pete Medhurst, Joe Miller with you. Neil Ellis, our producer-engineer. Great to have you with us tonight on the Navy Sports Network for this Patriot League Network encounter. Matt McMahon and all of our technical crew bringing you the sights and sounds on Patriot League TV. Wardell, left side for Colin Floundlacker. Mids won the opening matchup between these two April 2nd, 11-4. Quick move by Wade to Ray, high-to-high shot. Goes over top of the cage, backed up by Wade for the Mids.
Well, Pete, one of the things you see with Navy out there with Wardell and Ray, it's a clear size advantage over a very small Holy Cross defensive unit. And Wardell gave them some issues in the first game. And Jack Ray was coming back from the injury in that first game, also had a goal. And traditionally, he's had some of his better games against Holy Cross. And you can just tell out on the field the size difference between those two players when you look at the Holy Cross defense.
Pass for Dave Little goes to midfield, and that's going to be over and back on the Mids. And Navy has been their bugaboo all year, the turnovers, and that's their first of the game. Crusaders with their opening possession.
Well, Navy won 16 of the 19 faceoffs in that first matchup, which is a good thing. But the other statistical category that was not that good is they had 21 turnovers in that first meeting. 8 were calls turnovers, so that means 13 unforced turnovers, and we see that right off the get-go. And turnovers have been a huge issue for the Mids, averaging 17.6 turnovers per game in the last 5 games. They've been able to win those games, but they've struggled in that area.
Mullaney still in possession, running around 3 different Mids to keep it. Lux goes behind the goal. Kirkpatrick. They'll move it back up to the top of the restraining line. Counting down to the 12.5-minute mark. John Trainer pokes the ball loose. Crusaders able to bobble it and get it back with Logan LeBlanc. Can hear through our field mic. Can hear the communication going on down there. Mullaney, near side for LeBlanc. LeBlanc, 10 yards away. 15-yard shot. Kern gets a piece of that off his stick. Sends it aside for his first save of the game on Sean Mullaney.
Obviously, you focus on Kirkpatrick and Vogel in this Holy Cross offense. Patrick with 26 goals, Vogel with 21 goals. But more importantly, Pete, those are the two guys that shooting percentage-wise have been over 20%. You don't find many other guys on the offensive end for Holy Cross with those numbers that high.
Chris Fennell with the cause turnover for the Mids. Kern's outlet pass, saved by Fennell. Did he knock it off the purple body? Yes, he did.
Smart play by Chris Fennell. And whether it's just warm-ups or what happens, but Ryan Kern in the first quarter, when he has turnovers, it always seems those outlet passes in the first half of games issue with him. He settles down, and it doesn't seem to be an issue the rest of the way. But we have seen some passes from the crease that have been awry on the first or second quarters this season, but he usually can settle in.
Grayson Terrain, first team Patriot League performer, dodging from up top. Draws the slide, switches to his left hand, shot blocked in route, goes straight down, ground ball picked up by Matt Farrell, but we're going to get, look to be interference against Holy Cross, according to the mechanic from the official. Here's Floundlacker, looking across the box, ambitious pass, knocked away, and another Navy turnover. He was trying to throw it to Terrain on the backside, but stepping in the middle there, Jack McKenna. And here comes Holy Cross organizing their clear through goalkeeper Jonathan Tesoro.
Well, one of the interesting issues when we've talked about the turnover issues, usually you talk about the attack throwing the ball away. Just 25% of the turnovers this season from the starting attack, but if you combine Terrain and Floundlacker's numbers this season, that's 31% of their turnovers have come from those two players, and we see it there on that possession, a pass that Colin Floundlacker did not need to make right there.
Kevin Lux will back it out here for Holy Cross so they can complete a midfield switch. He'll throw it to Connor Waldron, freshman out of Darien, Connecticut. Lux back up top at the top of the restraining line, picked up there by Trainer in the short stick matchup. Now DJ Plumer, short stick double by the mids there. Pass back to the top. Good pick up there by Jack Ortlieb. Looking to make the pass across, though, to Sean Kirkpatrick, to the 6'7 senior attackman, and it goes out of bounds. Turnover by the Crusaders. Plumer, pass at his shoe tops, able to pick it up and find Terrain in the middle of the field. Grayson Terrain had it knocked away. Good ride there from Will Murphy for the Crusaders. And the team's giving it back and forth here as we've played just over 5 minutes in Annapolis with no score. Lux on the far side. Yeah, very. Lux getting around Trainer, comes in, shoots and scores. Kevin Lux with the wing dodge. Beating Trainer one-on-one, came in high to high and beat Ryan Kern. And at 9:28, the Crusaders go on top by a score of 1-0.
Well, no slide coming here. Lux just beats Trainer to the crease. Nothing too spectacular there. Just a one-on-one matchup that Lux wins there against John Trainer. And Lux is more of a creative force as Kirkpatrick and Vogel are the shooters. So Lux gives you that option of attacking from the perimeter. Holy Cross, a pretty patient offense like Navy. Holy Cross only averages a little bit over 31 shots per game, similar to what Navy does. But if you spread the field and you get that one-on-one matchup, they'll take advantage of it.
Martins wins the faceoff, flips it to himself. Crusaders attempting little quick transition, don't have anything. They'll back it out here, leading 1-0. So it's a big win for Mike Martins for his confidence early here.
Well, any win is going to be important for Holy Cross. It's like when you look at the first game, Navy winning 16 of those 19. One of the big reasons that Navy went on their big run was Holy Cross hardly had the ball at any point.
Kirkpatrick driving inside, high to low, bounces wide, backed up by the Crusaders.
And I think you'll see any time that Kirkpatrick and Vogel get into shooting lanes like we saw there, there'll be one or two Navy midshipmen all over them. I think they built their defense around stopping those two guys. The first game, it worked well up in Worcester, and I think you'll see that again today.
Kirkpatrick near side up top now from Mullaney. Or Mullaney, rather. Mullaney driving inside, fires down low. Kern makes a big save. The rebound scoots out front. Fennell flips it up in the air, and it's taken by DJ Plumer. Plumer looking for a long outlet for Matt Reese. Reese at midfield. Adding quickly ahead of Dave Little. Back to Reese. Reese spins, gets to 14 yards, and backpedals here. Sends it out to the wing for Ryan Wade.
On the first matchup, Matt Reese really killed them in transition. That time you saw 3 Crusaders go to Matt Reese in that transition. That might open some other opportunities as we progress through this game. There just wasn't great spacing that time by Navy.
Little's 10-yard shot blocked in front. He goes down. Crusaders try to put it into the crease. So Tesoro can start the clear, and he does out here to the near side, exchanging passes with Sean New.
It's interesting, Pete. Navy's gotten some good shooting positions early in this game, but Holy Cross has collapsed on them. They've had 3 deflected shots. They really haven't had one good look make it on target so far. And it's not like they've been shooting from 20 yards out.
7:22 to go. Fast-moving first quarter here in Annapolis. 1-0 Holy Cross. Waldron looking to get down the right alleyway. Ridden there by Trainer. Quickly moving back up to the top of the restraining line. Mulaney for Kirkpatrick. Keep moving. Looking backside, now cutting across. 10-yard bouncer. Kern sees it all the way, stopping Jack Ortlieb. Good start here for Ryan Kern for the Mids as he makes another save, and David Jones will look to clear it here for the Mids.
And not to make it too big of a point of this early on, but any possession for Holy Cross where Kirkpatrick or Vogel don't get a shot, I think is a win for Navy defensively. They're going to force somebody other than those two guys to score goals tonight. It's up to the rest of the Holy Cross Crusaders to do the job. But I think any possession where those two guys don't get off a good look, I think that's a successful defensive possession.
Might have to be Lux, the second team All-Patriot League midfielder for the Crusaders, the only man to receive postseason honors for Holy Cross. 36 points on the year coming in, 14 goals and 22 assists. Wardell move it left side here for Floundlacker. Colin, short stick matchup, cuts across the top of the restraining line, finds Jack Ray. Jack fires wide, and it's going to be Navy ball.
If that ball gets a little bit quicker to Ray, I think he's more willing to attack right away. Ray was open, popped off initially, but there was a little bit of a hesitation getting to him on the pass, and that allowed Holy Cross to get back a little bit more defensively, and not a bad look for Ray, and that's what he can do in that situation.
Oh, Wardell bobbles, and he gets broken in half by Jack McKenna. Ball comes loose, and the Crusaders have it. McKenna trying to get it ahead to Kirkpatrick. What a great play there by McKenna. He sensed blood in the water with Wardell bobbling the ball, and he just absolutely crushed him with a great legal hit for the Crusaders, and their bench is alive down there right now.
Well, they certainly have the early momentum, and you can't do it better than what McKenna just did. And the Mids, again, in the middle of the field with a turnover, Pete. And turnovers again, we talked about it a lot with Army, as that ball is deflected out, but Holy Cross will get possession. You just can't have 16, 17 turnovers every game and expect to win.
Nope. That's exactly right. Eventually it comes back to haunt you. Crusaders feeling it a little bit, leading 1-0 here early. Plumer riding Waldron behind the goal. Waldron gets it back up top, and they'll get it through Lux. Lux quickly here to the near side for LeBlanc. LeBlanc with his left hand, back pedals. Kirkpatrick dropped the ball. Matt Reese picks it up. Here come the Mids in transition. It's 4-on-3 coming the other way. Reese blows the wind up. Shot from behind by Kevin Lux. Good recovery by Lux. His stick is broken. He's got to come off the field and get another one. So you would imagine after that big chop there, it is broken. But a heads-up play by Kevin Lux. Matt Reese was getting ready to wind it up, and Lux just came down with a chop from behind.
Yeah, I just don't think they're going to allow Matt Reese to get much in transition today as opposed to what we saw in the first game between these two teams. So Matt Reese has got to be looking to make that pass initially, and maybe if they can beat it a couple times with the pass, and then Reese can get some more open space.
Vogel. Ortlieb. Ortlieb gets it back, 15-yarder against Trainer. Bounces well wide of the cage. Quick restart, Vogel. Working against Hinks. Back up top for Kirkpatrick, and now Holy Cross wants the timeout. You could hear Judd Lattimore screaming for it, and the trail official finally heard it. 3:21 to go here in the first quarter. It's Holy Cross 1 and Navy nothing. Mids and Holy Cross, each team with 5 shots in the game, but Holy Cross shows put 4 of their 5 on net. They've made Ryan Kern do some work. Kern is up to the task so far. He's got 3 saves, but the Mids, 4 turnovers here in the early going of this contest, and certainly right now trying to get into the game per se for Navy. It's been a bit of an adjustment here for the Mids.
And really almost 12 minutes into this contest, Pete, defense has been pretty solid, been pretty strong on the back end, but offensively they really haven't gotten a good look 12 minutes into this game, and this is a Holy Cross defense that gives up more than 10 goals a game, so you expect some offensive success against this Holy Cross defense, but they just with the turnover issues, again, it is popped up. They've made some poor decisions on some poor passes. I mean, Colin Floundlacker throwing across the middle of the field, that's going to be picked off more times than not. And they've just made some mistakes on the offensive end that hasn't allowed, I think, their full potential at this point in Holy Cross. Momentum-wise, feeling it here early on. Nothing to lose, and Navy still has a little bit of an albatross of trying to pick up a Patriot League tournament win.
So he said just the second postseason appearance for the Crusaders with the game here tonight. Fans, a reminder, USAA Savings Bank, the only credit card that financially supports the USNA Alumni Association and Navy Athletics. Call today, 1-855-4GO-NAVY, or visit USAA.com/USNA. Every time you use your Navy card, you're supporting the Naval Academy Alumni Association and Navy Athletics. You can get the N-Star logo, or Joe's favorite, the Charging Goat, on the card.
And just the second appearance for Holy Cross, but Pete, it's been 7 years, 2010, the last time Navy won a Patriot League tournament game. And if you told somebody back in 2009, 2010, the Mids would go 7 years without winning a tournament game, they would tell you you're crazy.
Here's a bad decision by the Crusaders. LeBlanc cutting through the middle, didn't get anything on that toward the goal, went wide, and Kern ran it out. So
I was
kind of
wondering what that was, whether that was a shot or I don't know what exactly that was.
That's a great play by John Trainer in the midfield to flip it to DJ Plumer there, as Holy Cross had constructed a well-devised ride there. We're going to get a flag coming up now. It looks like a slash against the Crusaders. A little too much stick work that time from Parker Grayweed. So delayed call coming up against Holy Cross. See if the Mids can take advantage here as Floundlacker looks down the right side.
They're going to bring Wade in through the box here on the substitution.
Terrain across the box. Oh, beautiful setup inside for Hill. He dropped the ball, and the ball is down on the ground, and now the penalty will be assessed.
Yeah,
golden opportunity there for Hill, and he dropped the rock.
Just getting ahead of himself there. We talk about it all the time. The receiver running before he has it, or the guy coming off a screen in basketball, losing it before he shoots.
You can hear Matt Palem announcing the call to the table. 1 minute for a slash at 2:24.
And here's a chance for the Navy extra man unit to get right in some regards to take away some of the mistakes here in the first quarter.
Just the 22nd extra man opportunity for the Mids this year. They've scored on 7 coming in. Wade fakes the flip to Hill, now gives it to Chris. Chris, ball dropped again, this time by Dave Little. And the Crusaders will pick it up, and the best way to kill off an extra man is to have possession of the ball. And the Crusaders do.
Well, Pete, not to harp on it again, but a turnover in a situation.
Yes, Joe, another turnover.
Look, it's I don't know if it's currently raining right now. It doesn't seem like it is, but you're dealing with the wet sticks. During warm-ups, it certainly was raining at times, but you can't have that as an excuse for all the mistakes here early on.
Kirkpatrick breaks through a double team and gets one toward the cage. Goes wide. Still 13 seconds on the man up for Navy, but Holy Cross has the ball. That's a problem. Kevin Lux with a possession against David Jones. And you can hear Mark Letty counting the clock down. Penalty is released. With a minute 18 to go, Holy Cross kills off the penalty without even seeing a shot. Vogel behind the goal. Hinks will survey from the crease along with Jones and Kern, the goalie. Vogel out to the wing. Lux back up top now through Ortlieb. Now LeBlanc. Back to Ortlieb. 53 seconds remaining in the first quarter. LeBlanc trying to get it away. Drops down below the shoulder. Fires it well past the cage.
That's the kind of shot, Pete, that is, I don't want to stall warning put on, so I'll take a shot that's overly ambitious, and then they turn it over.
Matt Reese Stepping in the passing lane and intercepting with 30 seconds to go. Matt into Dave Little. Little goes behind the goal now for Chris Hill with 20 seconds remaining.
Well played defensively there by Holy Cross. Little was trying to slow play and sort of ease his way to the middle of the field, but Holy Cross realized it.
Terrain, beautiful swim move. Has the ball knocked away, though. Great cause turnover there by Jack McGovern of Holy Cross as time winds down, and that'll do it for the first quarter. Probably, in terms of defense, one of Holy Cross's best quarters of the season, no question, especially in Patriot League competition. First quarter brought to you by Navy Mutual, ensuring those who serve. End of one here in Annapolis. This Patriot League opener in the championship quarterfinal. It's Holy Cross 1, Navy nothing. Back with second quarter action in a moment after this on the Navy Radio Network. Joe, somebody forgot to tell Holy Cross they're not the season program here. They played like it here in the first quarter, leading 1-0 and out shooting the mids 9-4.
Well, I think the most impressive thing, as you mentioned going to break, I mean, defensively, they've been fantastic. A couple takeaway checks right off the get-go. McGovern's play at the end of the first quarter is a fantastic play. So defensively for a team, when you look at their season so far, Pete, the lowest amount of goals they allowed was 5 to Lafayette. But you look at when they stepped it up in competition, most of the times they gave up double-digit goals. First quarter, I mean, Navy did not threaten really at all, and really a flawless first quarter defensively from Holy Cross.
Martins, who split the draws with Dove in the first quarter, as Holy Cross now goes right to left in the mids, will shoot at the goal to our right. Martin swings through and misses. Dove traps it underneath of him. Ball kicked out. And Dove reaches out with the stick, picks it up, and has the possession for the mids, looking for help. And he finds Michael Strack.
In the first game between these two teams, Dove would win faceoffs, and then the job was basically just to try to hound him into submission. And it's been a little bit more of a fight in these faceoffs so far.
Strack ahead to Floundlacker. Carries it in for the midshipman. Chris Hill on an attack. Ryan Wade on at midfield after Ray Wardell got stood up. Mids have gone to this configuration since then. Wardell standing with his teammates behind, so it doesn't look there was any injury on the hit. There's a deflection, and it can't be saved. It's off of Holy Cross last. Good job by Matt Farrell to get in the passing lane. Here's Wade coming. Free shot, hit the pipe. Hit the pipe. Karams over to the far side. Floundlacker picks it up.
Well, Mids almost took advantage of a Matt Farrell mistake there.
Backside Ray. He'll fire. Bouncing shot goes wide, and Terrain is there for the Mids to back it up.
And what I would say is you'd like the hustle, but Farrell took himself out of the play on the quick restart by being at the end line trying to chase down a ball that he was never going to get to.
Terrain gets it up top. Floundlacker with Jack Ray. Ray drops the ball. Able to pick it back up. Trying to drive inside. Gets it away. Wade behind the goal. Up the goal line extended. Now Floundlacker quickly moves for Terrain. Grayson picks up the short stick matchup. Inside, looking for Hill. I think Ray got in the way.
Yeah, just too much traffic inside, Pete.
Yeah, Jack Ray and Chris Hill were both there. Ray cut in front of Hill as they were trying to get Chris that left-handed shot. And the Crusaders turn it over, trying to clear the ball.
Well, that's the 8th turnover for the Navy, 5th turnover for Holy Cross, and frustration for the Mids and a timeout of the field.
Yeah, quick timeout here by Judd Lattimore, whose team gets the failed clear there. Their first failed clear of the game, as they are now 3 of 4. The Mids are 7 of 8 in this contest. But, Joe, the one thing that sticks out after the first quarter, 7 first quarter turnovers and now 8 overall, as they gave that one away there, only to have Holy Cross, fortunately, give it back to them. 8 turnovers here in the early going for the Mids. Almost like they're going a little bit too fast here at times.
Yeah, 8 turnovers, ground balls advantage, Holy Cross, sharp advantage there, 12-5, shots 9-4 in favor of the Crusaders. It really just hasn't been fluid at all for the Mids. I mean, the 4 shots, 3 of them were deflected before they even got really on target. So that last possession, you got a good look from Ryan Wade in an odd man situation where they had a numbers advantage and an opportunity. But then you see seconds later, Pete, 2 guys in the middle of the field get in their own way, a pass that is deflected down and just no way out at that point for the Mids in that possession. So another empty possession, but they do get a reprieve here off the Holy Cross mistake and a chance here to get something going in a positive direction offensively. And I think they're trying to work the middle of the field, but as we've seen a lot of teams do against this Navy team, their Holy Cross is packing in defensively, and that either means you have to shoot from the outside or you have to individually win some one-on-one matchups.
That's where, and obviously that's where Grayson Train, I think, has got to assert himself with his speed game and the dodging game for the mids. 13-10 to go, second quarter action. 1-0 Holy Cross here in Annapolis. Terrain to the right side for the mids. Back up top for Ryan Wade. Wade. Left-handed cradle gets it away to Floundlacker. Moves it for Jack Ray behind the goal. Ray draws the double, gets away. Left-handed shot. Saved by Tesoro. Rebound, Karam's out to the side. Picked up by the Crusaders. Here comes Holy Cross in transition. Urquhart. Floundlacker trying to catch up and can't. Urquhart stood up there by Terrain. Handcuffs his teammate. That was a tough catch there by Henry Lilly, but he made it.
A really nice play down the other end. Jack Ray, nice move. That's a good sign for Jack Ray, that mobility around the crease.
Just Tesoro stepping up and making the save there for the visitors, who lead it 1-0. LeBlond against Trainer. Zigzags. LeBlond, the right-hand cradle. Trainer keeps him wide. Back up top for Kirkpatrick. Now Ortlieb. Ortlieb goes away from the screen. Gives it up to Kevin Lux, who has the goal for Holy Cross. A wing dodge, beating Trainer one-on-one. Trainer, subject of a good article by Bill Wagner in the Annapolis Capital about his terrific career here. That pass is deflected, went on cage, and Kern had to be Johnny on the spot to make the catch there, and he flips it to Matt Reese.
That was an ill-advised pass there from Holy Cross perspective.
Ray Wardell back on for the mids here in the midfield. Ian Burgoyne on as well for Navy. Hinks back to Kern. Remember, you've got 30 seconds to complete this process. Burgoyne with a man coming on. Burgoyne, a little bit bigger, uses his physicality there to absorb the hit from McKenna, and the mid's able to get it in.
Well, that was really good stuff from both teams. I mean, that is picture-perfect defense there on that clear by Holy Cross. I mean, they spread the field beautifully. They seemed like they had every quadrant covered, but Navy with the strong outlet pass, that's how you beat it. And Burgoyne taking some physical pounding, though, holds on and maintains possession. Nice job, both ends. And let's see what Navy can do here with that second midfield unit on.
Burgoyne down the left side. Back for Drew Smiley, 7 yards out. Smiley around a Wardell pick. Tried to bull his way through. McKenna wouldn't have anything of it. McKenna's been impressive so far as a short stick midfielder for Holy Cross. Burgoyne back up top for Wardell. Ray takes it down the right side, throws behind the goal to Jack Ray. Ray up top for Smiley. Smiley's pass, knocked down, trying to hit Wardell coming from behind the crease. And the Crusaders caused another turnover. 9th giveaway by the mids in this first half with 10:14 still to go.
Pete, earlier in the season, maybe 4 or 5 games in, I thought Drew Smiley had the chance to be one of those breakout players. But as the season has progressed, maybe it's just a lack of confidence, but you haven't seen the same player out there.
And a changing role, too, because of the injuries. He was playing one role, now back to the midfielder. But people often complain about why Navy doesn't play more people, and that's one of the reasons why when you put that second group out there, that kind of stuff is happening to them. Here's a great come LeBlond, low to low, shoots and scores. You could see it coming from the backside. LeBlond running behind the play. Beauty of a pass. LeBlond catches, shoots, and scores at 9:41. It's Holy Cross 2 and Navy nothing.
You know, credit LeBlond here, credit Holy Cross. Nice quick ball movement.
It's a great look by Kirkpatrick to see him, too. Jones got there just a smidge late, ducked a little bit on the shot, and LeBlond able to keep his hands free, Joe, and fire it past Kern.
The way Navy plays defensively, you can create some things from the backside if you move the ball quick enough and get into shooting positions. And it's just hard to convert those chances sometimes. And that timing-wise, Jones a little late getting there. Plumer coming into the play. It sort of just fit in perfectly, but credit LeBlanc with that shot as well.
Double win the face-off for the Mids. 6th of the year for LeBlanc and the 12th assist for Sean Kirkpatrick, who made a beautiful pass. 2-0 Holy Cross with 9.5 minutes to go here in this first half of play. Little far side now to Terrain near. Grayson lost the ball. It looked like Urquhart got a piece of that on his stick. Holy Cross rolls it out to the far side, and Matt Farrell able to pick it up. And the Crusaders now moving right to left.
Now, it's been a pretty rough start for Grayson Terrain in this game. He's turned it over a couple times.
Here's a shot. That one deflected wide. Backed up by the Crusaders as Kirkpatrick is there.
I don't know if Vogel realized how much room he had.
And Kirkpatrick has plenty of room. Spins to his inside. Shoots and scores, and it's 3-0 Holy Cross at 8:56.
Well, Kirkpatrick working on Fennell there, spins inside. Gets a great look and finishes it off. Deadly player around the crease.
John Kirkpatrick with his 27th of the year. It's unassisted on a beautiful inside roll. And with 8:56 to go here in the second quarter, Holy Cross asserting itself early here, leading it by a score of 3-0. Timeout Navy. We're back in a moment on the Navy Sports Network. Let's see what the Mids have here. Grayson Terrain, you mentioned, statistically a nightmare for him already. He has 5 of Navy's 10 turnovers in the contest.
I gave you that statistic earlier. Him and Floundlacker combined for 31% of Navy's turnovers that season. So essentially, you're talking 1/3 of the turnovers this year coming from 2 guys.
Martins moves early. Oh, the referee says he pointed the wrong way. So it's going to be Holy Cross ball.
Well, I think, Pete, obviously plenty of time in this game, so the 3-goal deficit doesn't concern you as much as the way the Mids have played so far. I mean, we're almost halfway through this second quarter, and they haven't had one grade A scoring chance in this game.
They've had 1 shot on goal the entire game so far. 1 of their 7. Meanwhile, Holy Cross been efficient, 7 of their 12 on the net, leading at 3-0 and with possession. And the ironic thing is, Joe, when you turn it over so much, you negate any advantage you would have winning faceoffs anyway, which the Mids have won 3 of 5. Crusaders winning that one via the violation.
We saw that in the last game against Army. One of the ways they were able to survive all those turnovers against Army was they were able to win a ton of faceoffs in that second half.
Lux trying to drive inside. His inside roll shut down there. Rolls the ball behind the goal to LeBlanc. Or check it to Vogel, rather. He'll back up.
You know, Holy Cross, you can tell they're very conscious of the open space on the back side. I mean, they realize with 2 men coming to you hard on the near side that they could roll that back side and not really have anybody there.
Shot clock on against Holy Cross. Shot clock late there getting started. LeBlanc fires from a tough angle. Kern turns it aside with the head of the stick, but it's picked up by Lux. And that
they do
turns
wave
the
it
shot
off. Yeah, I was
clock
gonna
off.
see.
Yeah, that was on Cage.
I'm not 100% sure that was a shot, not a pass for Vogel here on the near side, but they do say it was on target and a save made by Kern.
Ortlieb. Reese knocks it out. Ball down. And Reese is going to pick it up for the midshipmen. Matt Reese with the cause turnover. Gets it away to Chris Fennell. See if that play picks up the Mids here. John Traynor in the middle of the field. 5 purple jerseys waiting for him, and he gets it away to Colin Floundlacker. Floundlacker feinting on a couple of passes, and now waits. Offside, Navy.
They had 6 in the offensive end, so somebody must have stepped over at midfield at some point there, back behind the play. I don't think they were offsides when they initially got it over midfield.
Yeah. It's a good job by the trail official. He stayed home that time, did not go with the play too early, and he sees that action. Sometimes teams get away with that because the trail official will go too far. Lux from the top of the restraining line, driving down the middle. Ball knocked out again. That time it was Plumer. Reese has the ground ball. Reese, give and go with Little. Matt Reese shoots. Saved by Tesoro.
Yeah, fantastic stick save by Tesoro. You won't see a better stick save this weekend.
Little from the wing, dodges inside of a man. Wanted to, I believe, go to Ray behind the goal. Jack able to get the ball. Chris Hill saves it along the end line. So the Mids with their first real prime grade scoring opportunity. And Tesoro makes the save for the Crusaders here, his second of the game. And at 5:38, Mids with possession, trailing 3-0.
Well, nice give and go. You could see that Navy, getting the ball out of Reese's hand right away was a big help there.
One-timer by Little off the pass from Floundlacker is wide. Dave gets it back. He's fouled. Penalty coming up. Hill has it. He'll drive to the crease. Wow! McKenna crushes him at the side of the crease, and the ball comes out, and that'll get the dead ball and the whistle here. The penalty coming up. It's going to be 30-second technical coming up against Holy Cross, and the original penalty against Dave Little.
I hesitated there for a second because 2 flags were down, and I didn't know if they would have gotten McKenna for that shot, but just 1 penalty, I believe.
1-3, foul, hold, 30 seconds. 1-3, hold, 30 seconds.
You can hear the call from the official. Matt Farrell, 30 seconds for the hold. Looked like a very legal hit by McKenna. He just blasted Hill at the side of the crease there. Second time tonight, McKenna has delivered a big blow on the defensive end. Terrain to Jack Ray. 30-second EMO here for the Mids. Their last one for a minute. Never got a shot because they turned it over. And Holy Cross kept it the rest of the time. Long range shot. Little hits the pipe. Karam's out to the wing.
Nice shot
hit
there
the
by
inside
Little.
of the pipe. That kind of first half for the Mids. Terrain. Now to Floundlacker. Colin back up top. Terrain. They'll move it for Little. Side of the goal, Ray. Moves. Penalty's over. Pass inside to Hill. Doesn't get there. And Tesoro has it behind the crease for Holy Cross.
Well, Hill had some room to operate there, but the pass is just a little bit off, Pete. He has to reach down to grab it.
Dave Little knocks the ball away from Henry Lilly, who collides with John Trainer.
That's
Trainer's
a push.
pushed from behind. It's a held whistle because Navy does get the ball. Matt Reese coming the other way. Fakes right, goes left to Dave Little. He'll fire and score! And finally, the Mids are on the board in transition. Matt Reese faked right and went left to Dave Little. And Dave puts it home at 4:16, his 21st of the season. And the Mids are on the board. It's Holy Cross 3 and Navy 1.
Well, transition gets it going for the Mids here. Matt Reese, we talked about, he's probably going to have to give it up once again. 2 guys coming to him. They played the quick pass and catch game last time to get him some open space. This time, Dave Little from outside. I think, Pete, that previous shot, even though it didn't get in, you beat Tesoro on the short side on a shot like he had, and it hits the post. I think that can get you a little confidence. Little from the outside buries it. 3-1, Navy on the board.
Little created the turnover
Yep.
on the wrap check. Lilly hit Trainer. Trainer had presence of mind to sweep it forward. And the Mids create a transition tally. Dove committed the violation last time. This one they're off and running. Swept out to the near side. Stepped over by Terrain. And Grayson eventually does haul it in. Hit by Martins. And the Mids with a chance to go to work here. The pass to Wade. Low bridges him. And he can't save it. It's out of bounds. Oh, the simple ability to pass and catch the ball, eluding the Mids in this first half. This is staggering. Turnover number 12 by Navy.
And another turnover from Grayson Terrain as well. Not to harp on that, but I was about to say one of the benefits of having Grayson out there is when you can win those ground ball battles, the defense backs off you because you're Grayson Terrain and they know that you can run right by you. They didn't need to throw that pass to Ryan Wade at that point. But just a low pass, can't handle it. And the Mids win the faceoff, but turn it over immediately.
A perplexed Rick Soul holding his hat in his hand on the sideline. Talking with his coaches, now back facing the field. Lux. So the Mids with the goal. They win the faceoff, but then turn it over. 13 first half turnovers by the Mids.
And the vast majority of those have not been caused by Holy Cross. Self-inflicted wounds.
Vogel dodging from behind the goal. Wrap around, goes wide. Backed up by Kirkpatrick for the Crusaders at 2:57.
Nice little speed burst shown there by Vogel. He turned the corner. Got goal side.
Here's Lux working against Plumer. Lux and Plumer now come from behind the goal. Lux wrap around, tries to go up high. Plumer did a good job to hit his stick. Nothing on that shot. It went wide of the cage. Vogel backing it up, picked up by Hinks behind the goal. Vogel, stutter step. Near side for LeBlanc. 10 yards out now for Mulaney. Mulaney backs it up against Trainer. Back up top for Waldron. Plumer plays him. You can hear the mids coaches yelling for the shot clock as the officials have signaled to each other twice. Inside roll here by Vogel. Fennell picks him up. Outside the box as Vogel has to retreat up top to LeBlanc, 12 yards out. Back inside Lux, 1v1 against Plumer. Lux driving inside. Kern makes the save as Lux try to go high to the upper corner far side.
Well, really nice stuff by DJ Plumer. 3 different times Lux tried to drive on him, and 3 different times Plumer did his job. Relatively easy save to be made there for Ryan Kern. Nice job by DJ Plumer.
Matt Reese going to try and use his wheels here to clear for the mids. Gets it across. Stick was hit. Trainer can't pick it up. Failed clear by Navy.
Unbelievable, Pete.
And again, a well-devised ride by Holy Cross. Reese gave it up kind of unconventionally, but Trainer easily with a chance to pick it up. And he could not get possession. With 1:07 to go, and what it has to be outside of Lafayette, maybe the most frustrating first half of the season for the mids. Obviously, the competition much tougher here tonight. Ortley back up top. Mulaney against Reese.
Now, this is a Navy defense that just played defense for about 90 seconds, and now you're going to have to ask them to do it again.
Waldron on the crease. Vogel. Oh, what a recovery that time by Steve Hinks. Steve Hinks coming down to make the play. Fennell has it for the mids. 3-time defending Patriot League Defender of the Year. Carries it into the box for Navy. Little back up top terrain. Grayson, left-hander, had his stick hit as he shot it with 20.9 to go. Ryan Wade on the restart for the mids. On the crease, Hill tried to go behind the back and waste that opportunity at a terrible angle. Even if he gets that, I mean, that's not even on crease if he gets it from where he released it. 8 seconds to go. Crusaders with a chance. They're going to have to hurry. Mulaney with 3. Mulaney from long range, and it hits Vogel in front. And the horn sounds mercifully on this first half. All the folks watching on the far side from Ackerson Tower for the Navy Spring Sports Banquet head back inside as the clock hits the half here at Annapolis. 14 first half turnovers by the mids, and the Crusaders taking advantage with a 3-1 lead here at the break. Start of the third quarter presented by USAA, proud sponsor of Navy Lacrosse, and the mids and the Crusaders ready for 30 more minutes. Brady Dove wins the faceoff. Immediately 3 purple shirts try to converge on him, and Dove, the former Kent Island High School nose guard, runs away from the Crusaders. Dave Little, who has Navy's first half tally with possession.
If anything, Pete, conditions a little worse here to start the second half. Winds picked up. Rain has begun to fall again.
It has been a wet 2 days, to say the least, here in Maryland State Capitol. Dave Little, back up top for Ray Wardell, comes out on the first midfield. Flounlacker behind the goal for Ryan Wade. Terrain, back up top for Wardell, 7 yards out. Ray tries to drive it down the left alleyway. Behind the goal for Wade. Near side Flounlacker. 60 seconds gone by. 3-1 Holy Cross, third quarter. Terrain, near side Flounlacker. Collin, backpedaling. Gets it to Terrain. I would almost isolate Terrain and give him a chance to go in space 1v1 and beat the defender here.
And it's kind of
Try and
hard
pick
to
his
do.
confidence up.
The way Holy Cross is defending, though, it's going to be tough to do that, Pete. I mean, they are really playing over aggressive to the man on the ball.
Shot clock on against the mids. Second defender coming, Terrain. Ooh, tough pass for Wardell. Luckily gets the Floundlacker behind him with 18 on the shot clock. Collin, backside Terrain. Grayson fires wide of the cage. Backed up by Navy with 12 seconds on the shot clock.
As they overplay the aggressive side, that's the kind of plays you're going to have to make, whether it's the switching to the fields or those quick passing. They reset the shot clock, and they shouldn't have.
Correct. Shot clock was at 12. Rick Soul out across midfield trying to direct traffic for his team here. Shot clock. Rick Soul thought it hit part of the cage, and you could hear Matt Palem coming over telling him it's got to hit one of the pipes, and it did not. So it should be 12 seconds on the shot clock. And there it is.
Grayson, go get it, Grayson. Carry over.
You can hear Rick Soul telling Grayson Terrain to go get it. But Wardell goes behind the goal to Wade instead with 8. Ryan's got to make something happen here. Looking for Little, and it's going to go to midfield. It's going to be over and back, kicked over. But the shot clock, it's a play on. Reese coming from behind, trying to get it for the mids and couldn't. That could have been a chaotic situation. Horn sounding for the shot clock violation, and the team's the presence of mind to play on.
Holy Cross, a team that they don't push it a ton in transition, so they didn't really have the numbers forward to attack in that situation. But yeah, for the most part, everybody kept on playing, which worked out well for the mids.
Mulaney back up top, trying to come across the box against Plumer. Mulaney fires a long-range shot high to high over top of the crease and the cage.
Kern might have got a piece of that one, as it's probably raining harder than it's rained all game time.
LeBlond against Trainer, or check it, Lux rather against Trainer. Lux isolated against him and scored a goal earlier. Trying to wrap around here in front. Kirkpatrick Kern with a big save. Oh, Kern 5 yards in front was Kirkpatrick. And Hinks has the ground ball and gets it away to Reese. What a big save by Ryan Kern on Kirkpatrick there. Trainer down in the middle of the box to the trailing Reese. Long-range shot from 15, bounces past, and it's going to be Navy ball, says Matt Palem. And we're going to get an unsportsmanlike call coming up against Holy Cross. It's going to be against 43, Parker Grywe. He must have said something to Matt Palem because he was arguing with Palem that he was closer to where the ball actually went out. And he protested. 30-second technical for a conduct foul.
So not the 1 minute unsportsmanlike conduct.
That's surprising.
Well, a couple transition opportunities there for the mids, but they, Matt Reese from 18, not the best spot. That time, Trainer in the middle of the field. You got to give Holy Cross some credit. They have really done a good job defensively for the most part in transition.
17 on the penalty. Mids on the EMO. Jack Ray up top now to Terrain.
It is pouring.
Rain really coming down now. Hill's pass is deflected en route. It's going to come all the way to midfield and over and back against the mids.
Navy claiming that it was deflected.
And it was deflected. There was no doubt that pass was deflected. So who gets possession, though, is the question.
We've seen this in the past, and it has gone to Navy. It was a case last year where we had an inadvertent whistle in a similar situation. It stayed with the attacking team.
Well, in this case, the Crusaders
Obviously,
actually
that's not
had the
case
ball.
here.
Jack Ortlieb will have it. Goodness gracious. Rain coming down hard here now in Annapolis.
Obviously, in this situation, look, you're down 2 goals, which is nothing, huge at this point in the game. But
Mulaney with a nice catch. In shot, score! It's Kevin Lux. You can see the water splash off the back of the net there. Lux with a beauty right down the middle. And with 10:38 to go in the third, Mids are in trouble. Holy Cross 4, Navy 1.
that's what I was going to say before the shot is this is a danger zone area for this Navy team. With the conditions, the rain, the way you've played, the turnovers that you had, it's not going to get any easier to throw the ball around right now. And you're in a situation now as Lux finishes that off. Nice shot there by Lux. And again, almost sort of that set play that's created a couple scoring chances for Holy Cross. And Lux finishes it off. And catch and shoot in stride. They've done that a couple times and gotten goals. The last time, Patrick made a great shot that Kern made the save on.
Dove moves early, and Martins has the face-off win. Lux drops it back. Ortlieb goes back to Lux on the wing, isolated against Terrain. 4-1 Holy Cross, 10:17 to go in the third quarter. Mulaney, top of the box against Trainer. Ortlieb didn't want the tough angle shot, finds LeBlanc. Back to Ortlieb. Far side, Kirkpatrick. Marked there by Fennell. On the doorstep, denied that time was Vogel. Here come the Mids the other way in a hurry. Stephen Hinks switches from left to right hand. Trailing Terrain, 15-yarder, scores! Grayson Terrain, high to high from 15 yards away. And Terrain, with his 22nd of the year, gets Navy back to within 2 at the 9:44 mark. It's Holy Cross 4, Navy 2.
Well, Grayson stepping into one from 16, and he just overpowers. I mean, that's just throwing the fastball right past him. That's all that is. Great job defensively. Vogel, Fitzpatrick, they almost connected on that play. He got enough of it to direct it towards the goal, Pete, but he just couldn't, as he was being pushed, he couldn't get anything on the shot, so it kind of went through the crease. But nice job, patient on the transition. Holy Cross got defenders down, but that trail guy can be the dangerous guy on those outlets if he can bury it from the outside.
The all-Ken Island unit on the face-off as Ben Goodrich comes on to play the wing, but it's the Crusaders' Urquhart who comes up with a ground ball. Mids went with Dove, Goodrich, and Plumer, but Urquhart picks it up off the wing, and now Tesoro organizing the clear here for the Crusaders. They get it across, now need to get it in, and they will. 9:12 to go here in the third quarter. 4-2 Holy Cross, Terrain's tally. His first of the day on his fourth shot of the game. Ball dropped by LeBlanc. Tell you what, Holy Cross, Joe, they don't go deep in their midfield either. Mulaney, LeBlanc, Lux play a lot. Mulaney pass behind the goal. Vogel switches hands. Ball deflected, but picked up by the Crusaders. Strack got a piece of that one to disrupt. Lux against Trainer on the far side. Mids again playing defense in front. Shot, goal, Vogel. Kevin Lux finds Vogel standing right on the top of the crease. Not a thing Ryan Kern can do about that one. 5-2 Holy Cross at 8:34.
Well, I was just going to say, Holy Cross has had some turnover issues, but they've looked so much crisper on the offensive end. I mean, that is a tight pass, but he shouldn't be that open. An opportunity there for the Mids. You have to create those, but Steve Hinks, it's tough to tell if that's Hinks' guy or a guy that drops
Strack
down.
behind it, right, yeah.
So you don't want to necessarily assign blame there on who didn't cover him, but either way, you can't have him that open inside like that. And Lux is a guy, he's the one creative passer on this team that can find those little holes like that. So
5-2 now, Crusaders at 8:34. Crusaders have already won more faceoffs today than they won in the first matchup. Dove tied up by Martins as they had a chance to get the ground ball, and Holy Cross gets another one. Urquhart spinning through three bodies. Ball is down. Martins is over there with Wade. Picked up by Holy Cross. Good scoop there by Sean New. They'll get it ahead to Will Murphy, the long stick midfielder. Urquhart against Reese. Matt knocks him off balance as the rain picks up even harder here. Kevin Lux 10 yards out. This is a 60-minute game. Kevin Lux may play 58 minutes of it for Holy Cross. Here's Lux down the left alleyway. LeBlond carry it back behind the crease against Plumer. Kirkpatrick, stick hit by Fennell. Back up top, Lux. Laney on the right side. 7:12 to go in third quarter. Vogel. See if the shot clock comes soon here against the Crusaders. Ortlieb. Over top of the crease, Vogel wrap around. Goes wide. Out of bounds to the Crusaders. Under 7 to go now here in the third quarter. Lux from the top of the restraining line. Trying to get roll dodges inside on Trainer. Fires it high. Kirkpatrick backing it up here for the Crusaders. Extended possession here for the visitors. They lead at 5-2, looking for more.
Nice move by Lux. Interesting, he got inside and then tried to shoot near post instead of going to what you would expect, trying to shoot it on the far post.
Fennell knocks it away, and it's out of bounds to Navy. Chris Fennell making a big defensive play when the mids need it there. Quickly on the restart to DJ Plumer.
That was a fantastic defensive series for the mids, but now, Pete, you not only have to take care of the ball, but it's starting to get into time where you got to start making things happen here offensively.
Plumer behind the goal to Dave Little.
But worst case scenario, you got to give that defense some time to rest right now.
David will bring it up the side of the restraining line, and now up top for Grayson Terrain. Floundlacker. Man coming from behind. He's running right into him. Floundlacker at the last minute spins away. You can hear Rick Soul telling Grayson Terrain, come get the ball. Terrain finally does and gives it up to Wardell. Wardell. Down the left side of the box. Behind the goal, Wade. They'll quickly move it up top, Jack Ray. Ray to Wade. Wade now Floundlacker. Collin dips inside. Right-handed shot. Saved by Tesoro. Didn't have a ton on it that time. Right into the chest area, and Tesoro with that stick in front. Fundamentally sound, makes the play.
Yeah, I think he wanted to shoot it initially, and then defender came out. He tried to slide by him and just couldn't get anything on that shot right into the chest of Tesoro. Doesn't get much easier for the goalie there to make that one.
5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Mix up there by the mids.
Trainer comes racing onto the field. Thought Waldron might actually try to go to the goal there. He had momentum. Didn't do it. Ortlieb. High to low. Bounces past, and it's backed up by Kirkpatrick. Kirkpatrick played by Hinks on the near side. Kirkpatrick, right point. Hinks tried to get over top of the screen and did so, but Trainer picks him up on the switch now. See if Kirkpatrick tries to go to work. Big 6'7" attackman. Gives it up behind the goal to Waldron. Reese comes in. Can't get it away. Kirkpatrick. Up to the point, Mulaney. Quickly moves. Ortlieb against Strack. Vogel from behind the goal. kind of early. There's a play. Hinks deflects that. It looks like it's going to stay in. Picked up, and they throw it off of Hinks' foot. No. Out of bounds to Navy.
I'm not sure Holy Cross knew that was
Referee
deflected.
clearly right away said it was deflected. They could have let it go out if it was going to go out. Kind of early still to almost say next goal is the most important goal. But, Joe, if Holy Cross gets the next goal.
Pete, there's only 3 minutes to go in this third quarter.
That's what I'm saying. It still seems like a lot of time, but.
You've almost played 45 minutes. You got 2 goals, and you're down by 3.
Terrain up top. Now to Floundlacker. Near side, Wardell.
You give yourself a fighting chance because Brady Dove, you know you can make a run if you can get just that first goal to fall.
I think that's the other stat tonight that sticks out in addition to Navy's turnovers. Faceoffs are 5-5. Dove has committed 2 violations. Floundlacker to his left hand. Back to his right. Double team. Looking in front. Little misses the target from 7 yards away.
Nice job, though, by Dave Little. Catch. Dropped the shoulder. Just missed it. That's a good look.
Wade. Double team comes. Ryan gets through it somehow. Shoots and scores. Oh, how did he do that? Ryan Wade with a gorgeous roll to his inside. Splits the double team. And Wade gets a critical goal for the Mids at 2:44 of the third. Holy Cross 5 and Navy 3.
Pete, he almost timed this perfectly. I don't know if he did this on purpose, but as soon as they went for the check, he ducked under and got free. That's just a great individual effort by Ryan Wade. Holy Cross not making a ton of mistakes. We mentioned you got to shoot from the outside and score. You got to have individuals make plays. That's the last 2 goals. Grayson Terrain from long range, and then Ryan Wade. Great spin move. Nice job by Ryan Wade.
Matt Palin blows the whistle
and they're
for
going to
something.
stick check maybe? I don't know. That's what it looks like is going to happen here, Pete.
So Holy Cross has called for a stick check on Ryan Wade. And Matt Palin turns around and tells the Holy Cross coaching staff basically to shut up.
Let me do my job.
Wow, Matt Palin twice had to turn around and tell the Holy Cross staff enough. Palin, of course, fantastic lacrosse player at Syracuse. He's turned out to be a pretty solid official through the years as well. Going through the process here. Gives the stick back to Ryan Wade, and everything is okay. Really the first sign of emotion from the Navy bench tonight. Well, see if that picks him up here.
I was going to say, we've seen this be I've seen it a couple times doing lacrosse games through the years, that this can be a major motivating factor. There's a reason you don't see a lot of stick checks. It can fire up the opponent. It was interesting there watching 43 Parker Greeway, too, while that was going on. He was having an animated conversation with his coach as well, and I don't know if it was just a situation where he was trying to settle him down, but
and Greyway was the one who got a conduct foul earlier for Holy Cross. And it's Greyway off the wing who nearly had it. Dove out to the near side, knocked away. Brady has it. He's pummeled, and it's going to be a loose ball push against the Crusaders. Plumer quickly to Matt Reese. Reese. Wade inside. Shots. Tesoro makes the save. Jack Ray has it. Ray back up to Reese. Inside Little. Fires and scores! Dave Little, while being knocked to the ground, puts it home from 14 yards away. And with 2:20 to go, perhaps the stick check indeed motivates the Mids. It's Holy Cross 5 and Navy 4 as Dave Little strikes for the second time tonight.
Well, once again, about 14, 13 yards out. Contact there. Little stays with it, though. Sticks his nose in it, and that's a fantastic shot down low.
Knowing he was going to get laid out by the 6'4 Greyway that time, Dave Little stuck with it, stepped through, followed through, and got it done.
Well, I know Greyway's a big part of what they do, but right now, he again on that face-off, just a little bit too physical. They need to calm him down a little bit right now.
Had a chance to win it, stepped right to the ball.
He's sitting on the bench right now. Took his helmet off. He's lucky he didn't get a stick penalty afterwards for flailing at it.
Dove's got it. Brady ducks under, goes to the goal, shoots it wide, foot race on, Navy ball. Brady that time seemingly a little bit bound and determined to go to the goal there.
He had his flashbacks to the Army game.
That is just the 5th shot Brady Dove has taken all season. Minute 57 to go, 3rd quarter, 5-4 Holy Cross. Mids have scored 2 straight.
As we mentioned, the ability to make a run because of the face-off advantage.
Terrain draws the double. Flounlacker quickly moves for Jack Ray. Ray trying to get through Urquhart and does. Bouncing shot hits way in front of the crease. Backed up by the mids.
Yeah, I think Jack would like to have that one back. That was a good look.
Got a broken stick as Urquhart had to run off to get another one. Flounlacker gets it to Ray Wardell from 15. Keeps it high for the mids up top. Flounlacker with a minute 22 to go, 3rd quarter. 3rd quarter brought to you by USAA, proud sponsor of Navy Lacrosse. Terrain. Ray for Flounlacker over his head. And a turnover by the mids.
It seemed to me that Colin wanted to step in and shoot in off that pass, and Ray was anticipating him being in the same spot and not moving towards the goal.
So the mids, who turned it over 14 times in that first half, have turned it over just 3 now here in the second, but that was critical there as they're trying to get even. Under a minute to go now in this 3rd quarter. A chance for Holy Cross to breathe a little bit here.
They'll certainly try to take this down for one look here.
LeBlond from 10 yards out. Reese will pick him up on the far side. Plumer denies Lux. Mulaney here on the near side, picked up by Trainer. Mulaney outside the box with 20 seconds. Down to 12. Lux against Plumer with 6. Lux in front. Kirkpatrick shoots and scores. Oh my goodness, what a delicious pass from Kevin Lux again. Finding Kirkpatrick in front of the goal with 3.5 seconds to go here in the 3rd. And it's 6-4 Holy Cross.
Yeah, you could see that coming. Really, that's the only play they had. They stacked it in the middle. Kirkpatrick runs off the screen. A little bit of a moving screen there to get around. Fennell can't get there. But in that situation, Pete, with 3 seconds, that's the only play they can make inside. And Navy a little bit slow to maybe react to that one.
Chris had his head turned away from the ball, too, that time. But again, not knowing what necessarily the matchup is. 3.5 seconds to go. Just a humongous goal by Holy Cross as they were starting to wobble a little bit late here in the 3rd. And Kirkpatrick from Lux, who's been the man tonight. Dove from midfield has it near the goal, but it goes over top at the end of the 3rd quarter. 45 minutes gone by here in Annapolis. 6-4 Holy Cross. We go to the 4th quarter in a moment on the Navy Sports Network. Navy's won the last 3. We'll see if they can make it forward. Dove bobbles, picks it up and has it. Dove has won 4 in a row now, and he gets it away to Ryan Wade. 6-4 Holy Cross as we start this 4th quarter. Your season is on the line. Got to come up with your best 15 minutes of lacrosse right now if you're Navy. Crusaders have outplayed you for 3 quarters, but you can save your season with 15 minutes of good play here. Wardell from the right point. Takes it behind the goal for Wade. Wade, stutter steps right, comes to his left. Back pedals. Flounlacker, now to Jack Ray. Ray draws the double, and he throws it away at the feet of Grayson Terrain. Out of bounds, turnover Navy. Long pass up the left side for Lux. Mids can't push him out of bounds. Wade tried to ride him, but had to go out of bounds to avoid going offside. Lux takes a shot on the shoulder from John Trainer. See how liberal the officials are now at allowing Holy Cross in the leading position. Beautiful pass, and it hit the pipe. Lux again, put it right on the crease. Out of bounds to Navy. Vogel was standing right on the crease, and he hit the pipe. It's fortunate there.
Yeah, Vogel's, had some opportunities along the crease where he hasn't been able to sort of put things away. He's missed a couple opportunities around the crease that he's going to, if Navy comes back to win this game, he's going to want to have back.
Little in possession for the Mids. Wind starts to continue to make its presence felt in the rainy skies right now over Annapolis. Floundlacker, they'll get Reese off the field. Wardell will come on. Two minutes gone by, fourth quarter. Grayson Terrain on the dodge for the Mids. Back to Floundlacker. Backside Terrain. Grayson, beautiful dodge under his man. Shoots and scores. Grayson Terrain, left-handed up high. Missing the diving check by McGovern, who came flying out at him at the end. And at 12:50, the Mids within one. Grayson Terrain for the second time. Tonight, it's 6-5.
Well, nice jump shot from Grayson Terrain. That's what he can do. But again, Holy Cross doubling everything. So every run from the midfield is doubled. Down the right side, you got to quickly get it back over to the left side. That's where your opportunities are going to be.
Timeout on the field. 6-5. Holy Cross, 12:50 to go. 12:50 here in the fourth quarter. Pete Medhurst and Joe Miller with you as Holy Cross leads it by a score of 6-5 here in the fourth quarter here in Annapolis. Dove and Martins coming up on the faceoff. Brady's won 4 in a row. Martin swings through. Dove traps it. Brady's got it. Avoids the check. Brady fakes from 15. Gives it up. Chris Hill retreats. Behind the goal to Jack Ray. Mids looking to get even now as we count down to the 12.5-minute mark. Wade coming on. Down the side of the box. Behind the goal for Jack Ray. Jack from X. Above the goal line. Out wide. Back up top, Floundlacker. Quickly to Terrain. Grayson. Wade. Sprint dodge from behind the goal. Back up top, Floundlacker. Collin down the right side. Tough angle shot off the side of the goal. And a wasted opportunity for the Mids there. Floundlacker with a terrible angle. Shot it off the side of the cage, and the Mids give it up. That's as good as a turnover right there in a situation like that where you don't put it on net.
Yeah, if you want to take the shot there, Pete, just take it before the double team comes. He waits for the double team to come, and it reduced his angle. And that was... that was going to be easy there. It was either going to be the side of the net or gobbled up by DeSoro.
And now, Crusaders don't get it in time. So the Mids getting it back after a loss of consciousness by Holy Cross right there at a critical time. Jack Ray on the crease, shoots! Tesoro gets a piece of it. Jack Ray went to go down low. Tesoro came up with a big save. Hill comes free. Bounces it up top. Plumer gives it up now for Dave Little. Oh, what a golden opportunity for the Mids. The big fella right on the crease. Unable to put it home. Wardell now on the near side. 6-5 Holy Cross with 10:20 to go in the fourth. Crusaders led 5-2. Now the Mids trying to find the equalizer here desperately. Terrain. Grayson, who just scored to make it 6-5. Terrain back to his left shoulder, wanted a cutting Hill, headed back toward midfield, and Wardell does a great job to save it. He takes a shot from Urquhart. Here comes Holy Cross.
Great hustle by Wardell, but nobody for Navy followed up that jaunt towards midfield, so even if he saved it, it was
good play
1v3.
by Farrell coming up to get it for Holy Cross. So again, a bad pass by the Mids results in a turnover. Now the Navy defense has got to come up big again. Shots are 28-27, Holy Cross. Mids have turned it over now 19 times. Shot down low and a score. Sean Mullaney, the freshman out of Warren, New Jersey, snaps one home from 13 yards away. And at 9:15, a huge tally by the Crusaders. Holy Cross 7 and Navy 5.
Well, Mullaney gets a ton behind this, makes the run all the way about 10 yards out, cuts across the middle of the field. Nobody picks him up. Mullaney has it free and easy from 13 yards out with some momentum. And he beats Ryan Kern and back in front by 2. Navy's gotten it close to a goal, but they haven't been able to pull even, and Holy Cross has had the response all night long. It's getting, it's getting close to that time, Pete. 9:15 to go, where you have to say we can't allow any more goals.
That's true. Mullaney with his 6th of the year. Hustle play made in the defensive end
Huge
by
face-off
Farrell.
win.
And the Crusaders win the face-off. Just the 6th win of the night for Holy Cross, but not how many, but when you win them. You're up by 2 and you win one in the 4th quarter. Just a seismic win for the Crusaders here. Trying to get the clear organized. Trainer running alongside Palazese. Palazese carries along the back line. One of the few times, might be the first time he's been on the field all night for the Crusaders. Kirkpatrick working against Fennell. Back up top now, Vogel for Lux. Lux against Trainer. Trainer trying to push him in the crease. It's going to be a penalty against the Mids.
First penalty of the night for Navy.
Trainer guilty of the push with possession from behind. 30-second technical here against Navy.
I think this EMO will tell you a little bit of how Holy Cross wants to play it down the stretch. Whether or not they just kind of pass it around or they go for it here. I think in this situation, 8:18 to go, you trying to get some goals here if you're Holy Cross.
Oh, you got to play to win. It's the only second time you've been in the postseason. Play to win the game. Kirkpatrick does. Right in front. Rolls inside, and he puts it home. The big 6'7" attackman at 8:07 makes it a 3-goal game. Holy Cross 8 and Navy 5.
Well, Kirkpatrick's been the difference in this game, and once again, they've got some guys around him, but it doesn't matter. I mean, DJ Plumer's there in the middle of the field, but a nice catch and roll dodge there by Kirkpatrick, and he's been a couple times where you think he's covered in the middle of the field, but they've been able to make those passes, those connections inside, as we talked about earlier in this game. I mean, he is a handful along the crease, and that ability to make the catch, spin away, all in sort of one motion. It's a tough matchup for DJ Plumer, a short stick D-midi in the middle of the field.
And Martins wins another faceoff and gets hit in the head by Matt Reese. That's going to be another penalty against Navy.
Well, if you didn't know it now, Navy is in a ton of trouble. Under 8 minutes to go, trailing by 3 goals.
It's going to be a minute because he hit him in the head. So you can basically hang on to it here. It's lucky they didn't get called for a hold there. It's a good check by Hinks. Ball comes out. Now the penalty against Navy.
Well, small thing, but Hinks, that's a really nice play. I mean, Holy Cross could have possibly taken 30, 40 more seconds off the clock there.
Yep. Slash against Reese, who definitely hit him up in the head, no doubt about that. Now the pot of boiling water is at an extremely high temperature on the mids right now. 8-5 Crusaders. They've got a man up for 60 seconds. And ironically, Joe, they've won the last 2 faceoffs.
That's probably one of the bigger things that we've seen in this game. We came in thinking it was going to be a fait accompli, that they couldn't face off, and this is going to be a big mistake if this ball gets back to midfield.
What a diving play there by Ortlieb. Matt Palin right on the line. It's a great piece of officiating by Matt Palin. I mean, he hustled right through that line and was sitting right on it. Right on the crease. Shot and a goal. It's Kirkpatrick again. Sean Kirkpatrick has been the definition of a crease attackman here tonight. He has been fabulous. It's now 9-5 Holy Cross. Kirkpatrick with his 4th of the game and 30th of the season.
That's just right around the crease, there's an open void, and he just finds it. And nobody picks him up. A great play at midfield by Holy Cross.
Ortlieb hustling to keep that from being an over and back. Makes the play.
Just an unbelievable play. I'd love to see again if, I think it was good, his sliding play, but you'd like to see, with that over in the back call, we've seen attackmen sort of shy away from trying to grab the ball at midfield, just assuming it was over the back. Navy wins a huge face-off here, now trailing by 4 goals.
9-5 Holy Cross with 7 minutes to go. Crusaders answering the bell. The Mids had scored 3 of 4 to get within 1, and the Crusaders have scored the last 3 with all the answers.
Well, it's now or never. You can't worry about being pretty. You can't worry about much here. You got to.
And Wade throws it away right on cue.
Unbelievable.
But here's the thing, though, Joe.
Unbelievable.
You get 2 penalties called against 2 of your most experienced senior players. The Crusaders cash in on both of them. So it's just a buildup of all these mistakes. I mean, the Mids had 14 turnovers at the half, only 5 so far in the second. But the 2 penalties and the Crusaders making the plays when they need to. Good ride by Little, knocking it out briefly. But the Crusaders now got to speed to the other end. Lilly throws it down, and Ortlieb touches it in.
We haven't seen the 10-man ride much from Navy this season.
You're desperate now. You got to try anything you can.
There's no doubt about that.
Shots are 31-27 Holy Cross. Got to give Judd Lattimore's team a ton of credit. They were blown out by the Mids in Worcester. They nearly had the home game, taking BU to overtime the other night. They've come to Annapolis and been the better team all night. When him and his staff get on the phone, these are the kind of plays. As Lux, extra pass, shot, score. Ortlieb upstairs, 10-5 Holy Cross. And you can bet when Judd Lattimore and his staff get on the telephone to start recruiting kids now, they've got something to sell.
Now this is just prime example of great patience by Holy Cross in making that extra pass. It's a fantastic shot, too, by the way. That's not the easiest angle to shoot from. And Holy Cross, I mentioned it, they didn't have the ball a ton in the third quarter, but you saw their offense make some slight adjustments, and I thought they looked really good offensively in the third quarter. They just didn't have the ball to make you pay. We've seen in the fourth quarter, they've carried that over, and they've made some fantastic offensive plays tonight, just great connections on passes, and they've shot the ball pretty well.
Joe Varela wins the faceoff for the Mids. Dave Little from high to low, and he scores. At 5:29, Little gives the Mids faint hope here with his third of the night.
Well, this is a really nice shot from Dave Little, and once again, side to side.
Yeah.
Near side, far side, that's where the opening's going to be. And this is how you're going to have to play the rest of the way, Pete. You got to run and gun it, because when Holy Cross, if any area that they've struggled in defensively tonight. It's been when it's been a little bit helter-skelter. You just got to do that. You're not going to have guys backing up. You're just going to have to play this way. You just got to go for it right now.
Varello will stay on for a second straight draw here against Martins. Joe gets it out neatly to Matt Reese. Reese to the far side for Little. Back to Terrain. 5:17 to go. 10-6 Holy Cross. Terrain has got a pair tonight for the Mids. Carries it back through X. Now speed dodge to the far side. Up to the point. Floundlacker can't get the shot away. Now Wade. This is the sound of defenses we've seen Holy Cross play in all the years we've been playing them. Terrain will fire. Deflected in front. Never gets through. Backed up by Navy.
When the game's played here at Annapolis against Holy Cross in the series history, Navy's averaged 16 goals a game. That tells you
put up a 20 spot a couple of times early in the Patriot League rivalry.
They did it 2 times ago. They scored over 20 goals against Holy Cross here.
Terrain speeding from behind the goal. Here's Jack Ray through the traffic, high to high, and Jack Ray scores. At 4:27, it's 10-7, and they're going to roll the dice and keep Varello on. See if he can win 3 in a row.
Go with what works, and that was a gots-to-have possession for the Mids. A nice job from Jack Ray, and all of a sudden, Pete, I don't know if it's getting tired or what has happened, but the last couple of possessions, they've gotten some really good looks. I mean, this is as good as a look as they've had all night, and Jack Ray buries it. Able to set his feet, fire it in, and still got time with 4:27 to go, down by 3 goals.
5th goal of the year for Jack. 10-7 now with 4:27 remaining.
I also like seeing Grayson from behind. That gave him a different look, and that might have aided to that goal.
Martins and Varello. Varello went to sweep it out. Martins blocked him. Martins picks it up. Good job by Martins. Varello went to sweep, and Martins just put the clamp right down and blocked it.
While you try to be ultra aggressive here, this is where penalties become a major factor. You can't get carried away. You can't get frustrated.
He's got to try and
foul.
defend one-on-one and get the ball out. Ball is loose, but Kirkpatrick is there.
Holy Cross, once again, I mean, they've done it all night, so you can't complain about it. They just throw it into space.
Yeah, Mulaney gives it up. Can't get it. Mids in possession the other way. Trainer. John, his pass to Hill is blocked. Matt Farrell with a tremendous defensive play.
He had to throw that earlier. He tried to goad Farrell into it, but Farrell would not have any of it.
Now Holy Cross. Kern speeding out of the goal to try and get it. Ball is bouncing. It's out of bounds. Loose ball push against Kern. It'll be Holy Cross ball.
Yeah, smart play. Holy Cross player kind of turned his back to it. I think that's the right call.
We've had 7 goals scored in this 4th quarter after only 4 in the first half. Ball handcuffed. Mulaney made a nice catch there, operating against Fennell. Chris desperately trying to poke it out with 3:16 to go. 10-7 Holy Cross. Mulaney driving to the goal. Shoots. Scores. And a flag as Navy hits him after the goal. And that might be the final nail in the proverbial coffin here tonight. Great play here by Sean Mulaney, the freshman. And then he takes a shot from John Trainer at the end.
Yeah, it's just, for John Trainer, you can't commit that penalty. I know you're frustrated and you're down by 4 goals, but now Holy Cross is going to get the ball without a face-off, and you're consigning yourself. And maybe it was already decided, Pete, but just can't have that happen.
So with 3:10 to go now, Mulaney getting his first of the night, making his second rather. Kirkpatrick with 4, Mulaney and Lux with 2. And if you're Holy Cross, you've got a minute here, you can just play catch.
Yeah, no shot clock and extra man situations.
2:56 remaining. They've simply been the better team all night, and it looks like they're going to get the result that they've earned here this evening. Sometimes that doesn't happen in sports, but Holy Cross has been the better side all night long. Down to 25 on the penalty. LeBlond, far side for Ortlieb. Mids matching up everywhere. Goal is open. Kern now will go back to the crease. Penalty expiring in 3 seconds. Penalty's over. Mids are back to 6-on-6. 2:05 to go. Shot clock on against Holy Cross. Lux driving, rolls inside, tried to shoot it. Kern will come out and get the ground ball for Navy. Behind the back pass with people coming to ride to Fennell. Ahead to Matt Reese. Reese left to right for the Mids, gives it up for Dave Little. Little cutting across the top of the box. The junior out of Vienna drops the ball. Picked up again by Waldron. He lost it. Waldron just scooping it through. Loose ball hold against Navy. It'll be Holy Cross ball. Minute 20 to go, and Holy Cross is going to advance. Depending on the result, the open goal, they shoot at it from 3/4 of the length of the field. Backed up by Kevin Lux. Kevin Lux been a Johnny on a spot guy all night. 2 goals, 4 assists. He's made 2 just incredible passes on the crease to Kirkpatrick. And Joe, I mean, I hesitate to call it, this is probably the biggest win in Holy Cross lacrosse history.
Well, obviously they hadn't won a Patriot League tournament game before. So it's up there. Certainly we were there in Citi Field when they beat Navy, and that was huge.
That's a regular season game, though.
Yep.
I mean, it's a postseason game. I mean, we have watched through the years, we've watched coach after coach try and get this program going. And nobody's done what Judd Lattimore's done here with this team. It's just a phenomenal coaching job.
They lose by 7 at home to Navy. They come to Annapolis, win by 4. I mean, that's an 11-goal turnaround. That's something impressive, certainly. And this might have started in the 4th quarter of the BU game. They came back. They had the lead late. Boston battled back, and maybe they garnered some momentum. You wondered where they'd be after that game. Well, they came in and they took the game to the Mids.
That's it. Time runs out. The Crusaders sprint to the other end to tackle their goalie. Jonathan Tesorio made 6 saves in the game. And the Crusaders simply the better side from the start to finish. And for the Navy Midshipmen, the season ends here tonight with a loss to Holy Cross in the Patriot League quarterfinals. Final score here in Annapolis, Holy Cross 11, Navy 7.